Welcome back. Hey everyone, I'm the one who messed up, and I feel compelled to share my side of the story here. A week ago, I did something terrible. I, 36 female, cheated on my husband, 39, with my floor supervisor, 50s male. It's painful to admit, but I believe in owning up to my mistakes. Let me get you some context. Me and my husband were supposed to attend a work party together, but our babysitter canceled and my husband had to stay home with our child. I decided to go alone and spent the night at a hotel with my supervisor. Looking back, I can see how my actions were already hinting at the mess I was about to create. There was a weird tension between me and my supervisor since he had transferred to the floor I worked on a few months ago. And my husband picked up on that easily since he works in the floor below me. I reassured my husband that there was nothing to worry about, even though I felt the weird tension between us. I was lying to myself too, trying to ignore the unease building inside me. That night, I found myself being swept off the floor by my supervisor. He was praising my looks, my dress choice, and one thing led to another. And we ended up in a hotel room a few blocks over instead of the party location. My husband's gut feeling wasn't off, and I was there until the early morning. When I got home, husband was waiting for me. He asked what I was doing in the X hotel when the party was at Y hotel. Stupidly, I had forgotten we share our locations via a location sharing app. I couldn't deny it. I had cheated on him, planning it for weeks, knowing the implications it would have on our family. It wasn't a mistake in the heat of the moment, it was a conscious decision, and now I'm facing the consequences. Our marriage wasn't perfect, but I had no right to betray his trust like this. I had struggled with low self-esteem and body image issues ever since I gave birth last year. I haven't shed much of the baby weight, and it's made me feel undesirable. I have to admit, my husband's your typical male and has turned a blind eye to my struggles. I had been hitting the gym the past few weeks and lost a few pounds, but he barely even noticed. Our sex life was uninteresting and not what it used to be, especially more so since we're both tired of taking care of an energetic toddler. I know none of these are excuses for what I did, but I feel these facts are important for perspective. And that night, I let all my inhibitions down because I wanted to feel desired, hot, and sexy again. The thought that my actions hurt him and our family crushes me. We've had our ups and downs, but I truly love him. While I can't undo what I've done, I've committed to trying to make things right. He's willing to give me a second chance. He's a child of divorce, so he's unwilling to let our child be a victim of me, he says. He asked me to cut off all ties with my supervisor, including a potential career opportunity. I was torn considering the job could boost my career, but I knew deep down that he was right. It wasn't about the job. It was about the promises we made. I asked for time to think and eventually decided to prioritize my family over the job. I think it was the right decision. As much as I want to fix things, I understand my husband's struggles. I hurt him deeply, and my actions have left scars. I wanted to make amends, but it's hard to navigate the emotional aftermath. I can feel his pain, and it's painful to realize how much I've damaged our relationship. I'm grateful that he's willing to give us a chance through counseling. I'm determined to be the wife he deserves, but I know that the time alone won't heal everything. I'm fully aware of the feelings of inferiority he's grappling with, and I respect his right to feel that way. It's a tough spot for him, and I hate that I put him there. I'm here to make things right, but I'm also realistic. The road to redemption is long, and there's no guarantee that things will be the same again. It's a question of what's best for our family, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes to rebuild trust and respect. Thanks for taking the time to read this. I'm sharing this not to seek sympathy, but to acknowledge my wrongs and the journey I'm on to fix them. It's a tough process, but I'm learning every day. Update. A lot has happened, and I thought I would give you all an update on how things have been going. To be honest, things have taken a turn that I didn't expect, and I need to get this off my chest. So, after my husband and I had that heart-wrenching conversation about my infidelity, I thought we were making progress. We were talking, attending counseling, and I was truly trying to show him that I regretted my actions. But then, things got even more complicated. It turns out my husband went through my call records and he discovered that I had been talking to my supervisor for over an hour when I said I was at my mother's place. In truth, I was in a mall because I needed privacy for my call. I know it sounds wrong, but he was my supervisor and he was concerned in a professional way why I had switched floors. I didn't want my husband to know that I was calling him after he explicitly told me not to. So I went to the mall and took the call. That led me to be caught in another lie. I'm still in disbelief he dug into my phone like that. It's like he doesn't trust me anymore or something. Anyway, when he confronted me about it, I was taken aback and stumbled through some excuses, but he wasn't having it. He packed up our child and left the house. He's staying somewhere else now, and I'm left here dealing with the mess I've created. Honestly, I feel unheard and neglected ever since he discovered my one-night stand. I've been giving him space for the past month and attending to his every need, but a lot of the times he's cold and emotionally distant. I get what he's going through, I do, but sometimes I need someone to talk to as well, and my supervisor was there. It's frustrating because I feel he's not even giving me a chance. I'm trying to fix things. I've even been reflecting on my low self-esteem and all the issues I've been dealing with. Isn't that worth something? I've been told my husband is staying with his parents, and honestly, I feel he should be able to handle this situation more maturely, without running off to his mommy and daddy like he's 7. And taking our child with him is inexcusable. It's like he's using them against me. I've reached out to him to try and talk, but he's not responding. It's like he's shutting me out, and I know I deserve this treatment, but it still hurts. I know I messed up, but I just wish we could go back to talking our problems out instead of being like this. I feel terrible about the whole situation. I know I've hurt him deeply, and the fact that I continue to be dishonest only adds to the pain. It's difficult to see him so upset, and I wish I had been more transparent from the beginning. I understand why he's so hurt and angry. Trust is a fragile thing, and I've damaged it further. I can't help but reflect on my actions and realize that my efforts to rebuild trust were overshadowed by my lack of honesty. I've come to understand that it's not just about showing regret, but also about being upfront about my actions. I've made a mess of things, and I'm willing to accept the consequences. Right now, I'm giving my husband the space he needs. It's clear that my behavior has caused a lot of pain, and I want to respect his feelings and boundaries. I hope that with time, we can come to a place of understanding and potentially find a way to work through this. But I also know that it's not entirely in my hands. Thank you all for the support and advice you've shared so far. It's been eye-opening to hear different perspectives, and I'm committed to learning from my mistakes and growing as a person. I'll keep you all updated on how things progress. Take care. Final update. The past few weeks have been incredibly challenging, and I feel it's important to share my burden with online strangers. Since my husband left with our child, the situation has escalated. Today, he served me with divorce papers. The reality of the end of our marriage is hitting me hard, and it's been tough to come to terms with it. I've not been able to see our child during this time, and that's been one of the most difficult parts. It's a daily struggle knowing that I can't be there for him, and I fully understand why my husband is taking this step to protect our child. I hope that in time, I can find a way to rebuild the trust and prove that I can be a reliable parent. On top of this, my family has cut me off. The isolation and loneliness are overwhelming, and it's been a harsh realization of how one mistake can truly show the true color of those closest to you. Regarding my supervisor, he's continued to make advances, but I'm doing my best to keep a distance. I'm mindful of the rumors and speculation that could arise at work, and I want to avoid any further complications. It's important for me to maintain my professionalism, especially given the current circumstances. But I feel the rumor mill's already starting to work. I've ruined my life and my husband's and my child's. I feel like a monster. The journey ahead is uncertain, but I'm committed to learning from my mistakes and working towards a better future. I want to thank those who have offered their support and insights throughout this process. Please take care, and remember that your life can turn around in an instant. Comments. Reading your journey has been quite a roller coaster. It takes a lot to admit your mistakes and face the consequences head on. I can only hope that with time and effort, you'll be able to rebuild the relationships that have been strained due to your actions. Remember, it's never too late to make amends and grow from your experiences. Stay strong. Your story serves as a powerful reminder of how complex and fragile relationships can be. It's truly heart-wrenching to see the pain and regret you're going through. I hope you're utilizing therapy and counseling to work through your emotions and make positive changes. Healing takes time, and I genuinely wish you the best in finding a path forward. Talk about a mess of your own making. It's like you stepped right into a soap opera, didn't you? Cheating, hour-long calls, and now your world's falling apart. Hope those exciting moments were worth it. Maybe it's time to actually face the music and stop playing the victim card.